Hey YouTube, it's been a while. Did y'all miss me? I missed you guys. We got this 579 Peterbilt we're working on today. We're going to throw a visor on here, which I'm assembling right now. We're going to swap out this cabin sleeper kit, put some dual revolution Mudflap hangers, chop looks, and whatever else we can think of. So I'm going to get to it. See y'all in a bit.
Alright Matt, what you doing?
So I'm opening up the holes for the Mudflap hangers because the ones that came on the truck was a smaller diameter than the ones that we're about to put on. And at first I was using like a reamer step up bit, but all the ones we got, they're not efficient enough anymore and we need to get new ones. So I'm about to use my zip to open it up. And this bit really ain't the best, but it'll do. Until somebody gets some new ones, Chris. Chris. So what I'm doing now is, because when I was going around in circles trying to open it up more, you're not gonna make a perfect circle. So what I'm doing now is trying to open everything up where it's a little bit more closer on the inside. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit bigger. Like see this little corner right down here, it's got a flat spot in it. It's not as open as everything else. So I'm gonna work on start opening up all the flat spots to make it more like a circle. So when I get the Mudflap hangers, when it slides in, I can also have more wiggle room either side to side or to make it straight up and down. So that's what I'm working on right now. All right, so I've been reaming on this side, trying to figure out like how much bigger I need to go. So all I do is to check as I'll line it up, try to stick her in there, and then I'll look on the other side so I can see it's hitting up top here. So that means I got to ream out just a little bit more up top here and it should go right in, hopefully. So like I was telling Lene, I got some connector cleaner here, and what I'm going to do is clean up, because I'm going to replug in these lights after our wire in, splice into here to make the light up Mudflap work. So it's all gummy and grody and just corrosion all over in there, and the customer just wants to reuse all of his factory plugins. So I'm not going to remake them or replace them. I'm just going to clean them out, let them dry out, and that way it won't look so gummy and crusty. Also, I'm going to get inside the light as well. So we're going to get this all cleaned up. Oh, can I have one? Why not? Oh, there's proof that I caught it? I don't know what these things are called, but if y'all ever try one, there's a lot of heaven in your mouth. I'll clean this after I'm done eating this. Alright, so what I'm doing now is getting ready to wire everything up. So I cleaned off the connector, and so what I'm doing now is I have my test light and a little paper clip so I can stick it inside the ground. So I've already marked everything out. So ground, marker, and then blinker. So what I do is I figure out which one's which by just probing everything first, and then I can stick my test light in. If nothing lights up, nothing happens. And so if you can see that light flashing back and forth, I have the passenger side blinker on right now so I can see which one's which. And so I'm colorblind, and in order to help me figure everything out, I test out all the lights and then I mark them so I know what is what, so I don't get everything confused. And so what I'm going to go on from here is I'm going to take everything out. I have my wires marked, and what I'm going to do is where somebody previously spliced this pigtail in, I'm going to cut into it, re-splice everything together, and then add my wire for the light up Mudflap hangers. So on these, it's going to have a black, a red, a white, and another black. And so what I'm going to do is, so red is always your marker, or for your blinker. The first black is your marker lights. So like when your running lights are on, everything comes up. And then we have the ground. This black wire up here is for the dual rev, which is when you put it in reverse, this is a reverse light, everything glows white. And so I'm going to tie everything else in, and then later on down the line, when we get a rear center panel in, we'll probably do a more in-depth video of how a colorblind kid can do wiring and how I distinguish the different colors and how I go through everything. So later on we'll do something like that. But for right now, I'm going to cut the power to their back so I can cut everything up and not have to worry about anything grounding out. So I'm gonna go do that. Okay, so on this, so reverse isn't working at all.
Okay.
And let me get this undone. So on this side, it's going to be
the backup wire to it.
Yeah, hook up backup wire to the red. Don't worry about the ground. Yeah, but on this one,
it's black.
Black. So okay, so just do the black. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. I'll do that then. That's how I'll run it. I just wanted to double check and make sure I didn't mess anything up. Okay. So what I was asking Chris is, so there's two different colored wires. If you're looking at it from like where my point of view is, if I actually just sat and tried, if I could test it, I'd be more comfortable testing it, because then I know for a fact what it is. But when the truck came in, the reverse lights weren't working. So that's why I want to double check with Chris, because Chris has been here for like 15 years and he has a lot of insight on a lot of questions that anybody may have, especially me, because I just started here like 3 months ago. And if you're looking at it, so there's two reverse lights on the back of here, the clears, and they have different plug-in, or they each plug in, but I wanted to make sure and double check that the dark wire on each one was power and that the white is ground. And before I started working here and before I actually started doing a lot of wiring, I always thought black was ground and white would be like a secondary. That's not the case, like at all. Like 90% of the time on vehicles and these kind of trucks, the white is the ground instead of the black. But every now and then you might run into where that's not true. But the easiest way to tell is just get a test light and test everything. And that's what we usually try to do. But in this case, when there's no power, I'm going to go off of what Chris says, because Chris knows all and sees all and has seen all.
Don't let him hear you say that.
Alright, cool. So now I'm about to get this black wire from here, and then I'm going to run it all the way over. I'm going to add some more wire to it so it makes it longer, but I'm going to run into this pigtail right here, splice it in, and then plug her in. But I'm going to splice it first and get some extra wire. There's no reason why, like if you're worried about more splices in, as long as you make sure the splice is good and there's good connection with it, you can have 2 or 3 splices in a single wire. It doesn't look the best, but it'll still hold. So that's what I'm going to do. A little fun fact, if you're doing these at home by yourself, if you try to do your Mudflap hangers, hang them up, if you don't cut the little corner out on the outside of both of them, it's going to sit like this, because there's a little bracket that's up in there. So you just got to cut this out, and then it should go in nice and flush. That's not the straightest cut in the world,
But it's going to be hidden.
yeah, it's going up just like that. So everything's nice and flush. Now before it would have been like that. So now it's nice and flush. I'm going to get some hardware and bolt these on, and then after that I'm going to heat shrink all of my connectors, loom everything, and then tie it all back up, and it should be good to go. But we already tested everything. The blinkers work, markers work, brake lights work, except for reverse, but reverse wasn't working in the first place. So, but everything else works. All my wiring is good. I just gotta clean it all up and then be done. Yep, bolts, washers, and instead of using crush washers to lock everything in place, I'm just gonna use lock nuts and to get everything all nice and set and ready to go.
Alright, I'm back working on this visor. I just wanted to point out some of these brackets to you. They've got these special brackets, that way you don't have to drill holes in the side of the truck. Of course there's 2 on each side and they only fit in one position. They won't go anywhere else on this visor. The rest of the brackets are fairly simple. You're going to have brackets like this that's going to mount to the face of the visor, and then you got brackets like this, and these are going to mount actually to the truck using the existing holes. I shouldn't have to drill any holes in the truck, and then I'm going to add these lights right here, these trucks button lights. They're pretty bright for what they are, and it's a really good clean look. And well, I guess all I gotta do is get this put together, pull the old visor off, get it wired up, and I'll see y'all in a minute.
Or another bonus content, he's my uncle. You think people on YouTube would know that by looking at us?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Alright, I'm gonna go finish what I'm doing.
Yeah, you go do that. I'm gonna do this. Make sure there's actually there's a top and a bottom on these lights, and it says top right there. And I'm just making sure that they're all right side up. If it makes a difference or not, I don't think so. As long as they're straight up and down, it shouldn't matter, but I'm gonna put them where the top is on the top.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds proper.
Yeah, because I'm all about the proper, right? And yes, for those of you who are wondering, that is definitely my nephew, my sister's son. The eldest, if you will, of her kids.
You just shoved a gob of the dielectric grease. Is that the technical term for how much you use, is 1 gob?
Yes, that is the exact technical term, is a gob.
And tell the people why you do this, because some of them still don't know.
Well, it prevents corrosion, and actually makes it easier to change the lights out, because they're not going to be all stuck in there. They're nice and greased, if you will.
So always grease your lights. And are you just plugging those in whichever way you prefer, or are you
Yes,
matching up the colors?
because I prefer to do it the right way. And yes, I'm matching up the colors. On most of the things we do around here, everything's pretty straightforward and simple. You got 3 wires. You got a white wire, your ground of course, black wire, and a red wire. And they both are functions of the light. This is just a dimmer one, and this is a brighter one. So technically, if you wanted to, you can make them marker and blinker, because there are 3 wires and one of them is brighter than the other. I am removing this visor, just a couple of 1/2-inch bolts, and I'm going to retain all of these because, like I said, on these outside ones, we're going to use 2 of the holes. There are 3. We're going to use 2 of them, but I'm going to keep all the hardware. I'm going to use the original hardware. I might clean them up a little bit, and of course I'll put some tar on there. We'll put some tar on there, keep it from leaking. And I shouldn't, like I said, I don't think I'll have to drill any holes at all. I'm just going to unbolt this one, pull it off the truck, throw the new one on here, get it wired up, and Bob's your uncle.
Hey, Bob. Where Bobby is?
Oh, thank goodness. And I'm going to keep this plug wired into the visor. That way, all I gotta do is just plug it straight in.
There's our original plug.
There'll be no problems.
Explain the tar just in case anybody's missed your tar tutorial.
My tar tutorials. Basically, it's just a windshield tar. It basically just creates a seal, keeps water from getting behind there. When we pulled off the original visor, it did leak all over Chris. So I'm going to make sure that no water is going to get in the cab, and everything is going to be nice and clean. I'll even go ahead and add some tar around the plug just in case, just for extra precautions.
So you just cram it in the hole, right?
No.
You cram it around the hole.
Around the hole. That way when the washer gets on there, it smashes it flat. Like right here. And there's absolutely no moisture going to get off in there. Now what we have here is 3/4 inch loom. It's very important. I don't know why I'm using a stupid voice, but it just helps clean everything up real nice. It helps protect everything against the elements. It just
Looks a lot better.
Yeah, it just cleans everything up real good. Get your own crimpers.
I ordered on Amazon.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Yeah. Ooh, Winter got me some flarp for my birthday.
Oh.
And I was playing with.
Birthday, she got you flowers.
Yeah, and I was playing with it yesterday, and Isaac goes, "Good one, Dad!" And then I showed him, and he was like, "Oh."
He was so proud of you. It's first haircut.
Just a little off the top. Put a little baby loom on there. Probably for a hot second. Whoop. You ready? Oh yeah, I remember this now. So everything's wired in, plugged up, all the lights work and everything. I'm gonna go ahead and peel this film off and be done. I'm gonna show y'all on the side these extra braces that they got right there. Pretty sturdy on both sides and ain't going nowheres. It's a pretty good looking visor. Let's peel the film off and reveal el final product. Well, here it is, all out in the sun, still for a little bit. The visor's completed. We got the truck's button lights in there. They look really awesome. We weren't able to do the cabin sleeper kit today, but we got another one on order. And I will let my nephew Matthew tell you about the back end of the truck.
All right, so on the back, what we did was we added two truck's load lights to the rear so he can see better, and then also we added the truck's mud flap hangers with the yellow logo mud flaps to add to it, and then we cleaned up some wiring in the rear, and yeah.
Can't wait to do a lot more. We're going to do the cabin sleeper kit, so look forward to that video coming up. And with all that said, don't drive an ugly truck.